Hey, hey, hey. Let me just get the desktop set up behind us. Seems lately that the desktop is showing more messages than the actual cell phone. Yeah, YouTube is still having its issues. If you're watching on the playback, you might want to skip through the first minute or two. Hey, Kellyanne Sullivan. How you doing? Let's see. We're going to make these a lot shorter from now on because we're running out of things. Hi, Mary. We're running out of things to talk about. Now, I have a couple of really important things to talk about today on the Nancy Guthrie case. It's day number 93. Hey, Jewel. I think I'm going to have to start making these not fewer days, but shorter videos. I've been getting some complaints like, hey, I watched your video and all you guys did was talk about the channel and other things. You're not talking about Miss Nancy. Well, we talk about that at the beginning of every video, but it's day number 93. We're so far into this and there's very little to report every day. Hey, Rita, that I think I'm just, when I do go live, we're going to make this shorter. And then, if we want to talk about other stuff after we talk about Nancy, we will. Okay, Kathy, I didn't sleep well last night, so I feel like I'm just starting my day. There's a lot to do right now. So, Leanne, welcome in. Rita, uh, did I say hi to Jewel? I still feel like it's morning for me. But this is very important. Oh, thank you so much. YouTube has been having issues. I haven't been able to start the lives. When I try to push the start button, it won't start, or I push the next button to go to the next page before it starts. It's not working. So I'm having to, reboot the phone, delete the app, go into the back end storage, even though this is a brand new phone. I spent like 20 minutes on the chat last night with YouTube and they were still like unable to figure it out. And I finally just had to get it working myself and go live. So I don't know what's going on. And someone had sent a jewel, uh, like Kellyanne just sent a flower, but somebody sent like a happy Mother's Day and it was like a heart. It was really pretty. And it popped up like 20 times. And I kept rehyping the lady thinking that she kept sending them. And then I couldn't see the screen because it was going right over the chat. And people were like, I'm not seeing anything. I'm not seeing anything. And then I looked up at the total at the top, and the total at the top wasn't changing. So YouTube is having its issues. And then when my friend, the Humble Stacker, came in last night, but I could only see his messages on the desktop, which is in front of me or behind this camera, but I couldn't see it on, excuse me, on the settings or on the chat here. So I have to keep hitting all messages, and even hitting all messages, I'm not seeing everybody. So if I don't respond to you, it's because I'm not seeing the messages and I've got to look at the screen rather than put my eyes over at the desktop, because then when somebody's sending the gifts, I miss it. So, Katie, welcome in. My name is April Davis. I'm April Davis PI. I'm a licensed private investigator, although mostly retired, in Los Angeles, California, due to my medical disabilities. And this is day number 93 on the Nancy Guthrie case. And if you watched my videos last Thursday and Friday, we talked a lot about the finances of the property tax situation with Nancy's house and with Tommaso and Annie's house. And basically, it was saying that Annie Tommaso's property taxes would be delinquent if not paid by May 1st. Someone did make a payment for Nancy on April 15th. Even though the due date is March the 2nd, you can still pay up to the delinquency date without getting dinged. August 3rd, Drift was arrested in Ocean City, Florida for assaulting a 10-year-old boy. Okay, I haven't seen that. This is right now, we're just going to talk about Nancy. But like I said, somebody paid Nancy's taxes on the 15th of April. Therefore, she was paid in full before the delinquency date. And I noticed in past years, because I was able to go back all the way to 2019, she was kind of smart where she waited usually till the last few days. And I said in the last video, or not the last video, but Thursday and Friday, that could be the situation with Tommaso and Annie, that they wait till the last minute. The check could be in the mail. It could be sitting even in the mailroom in the Pima County Treasurer's office. And they're supposed to update the system daily until 5 p.m. And then if they don't have your payment by 5 p.m. on the 1st, well, as of midnight, the morning of, you're already delinquent. And that's when they added a 16% interest. But that doesn't mean that they're going to get nailed for that, because like I said, if they wrote a check, let's say April 29th, and they mailed it April 29th, and it was postmarked on the 29th, but it just wasn't updated into the system, then they can take that delinquency notice down and take the interest rate. We're talking about Nancy Guthrie. And so I have the new printout today, and I want everybody to hear this. This is the new printout. Let me cover up their address. Not that you guys can see it, but basically it says that they are paid in full as of April the 29th. So either their envelope was postmarked the 29th or their check was dated the 29th. For whatever reason, it didn't go into the system. It didn't update until today, May 4th, because I've been checking it every day. And they don't update on the weekends because, they're obviously closed Saturday and Sunday. So as of today, Annie and Tommaso, that's very important to know, because there's been all these rumors that they didn't have any money and that they were begging Nancy for money and, Nancy wouldn't give it to them and she was going to change her will. There's no evidence of something like that. If something like that was going on, we, the public, we wouldn't know about it. And remember last night, a new friend came in from India, and he sent me 40 rupees, which I just thought was so cool because I've never received any payment from India. And so far, I've got United States, the UK, tons from Israel, thanks to our friend Saraf, who's holding up the channel. But last night, someone sent me 40 rupees, and I thought that was really cool. And then there was a lot of knuckleheads in the chat, and somebody got really nasty towards the guy and said, that's only about 2 cents, and that was uncalled for. So if anybody bullies anybody in my chat, they're going to be removed. Scarlett says, Jeff the Land Shark. I've heard of the channel, but I don't know him. I don't watch him, if that's a YouTube channel. I've heard of Land Shark Picker from the reselling groups that come on YouTube. But Jeff the Land Shark, is that a YouTuber? Because I think I've heard of him, but I'm not sure. There's so many. Remember, there are 150 million active users, over 150 million on YouTube. And a lot of people, especially in the United States, are discussing Nancy Guthrie. Now, our friends over at the Hindustan Times, speaking of India, they published an article this morning stating Annie Guthrie and Tommaso Cioni, innocent or not? New claim emerges amid Nancy Guthrie probe. It's pretty terrible. Now that's a very clickbait title. And when you see who they mention in this, you're going to understand why I say that. Since none of this, it's a Marvel character. Okay, we're not going to talk about that, Scarlett. You're getting me off track here. There we go. As Nancy Guthrie's investigation unfolds, speculation persists despite the Pima County Sheriff's exoneration of her family. That's true. They have been exonerated per nanos, bananos, whatever you want to call them. As the investigation into Nancy Guthrie progresses, can I read today? Speculation regarding the circumstances surrounding the 84-year-old continues. Although Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos has exonerated the family in this matter, numerous social media users remain focused on those nearest to Guthrie in search of explanations. Yeah. A recent unverified claim introduced an additional complication to the case of Nancy's disappearance, with online discussions centering on a purported, meaning alleged, financial disagreement that occurred shortly before she went missing. Now, none of this can be verified. Independent online commentator, and I hate to say this name, but it says it's right here. Jonathan Lee Riches, that's JLR Investigates, asserted on X that Nancy's daughter, Annie Guthrie, and her son-in-law, Thomas Sione, had reportedly requested money from her before her disappearance. In a subsequent post, he further alleged that Nancy declined their request. There has been no public release of evidence to substantiate this claim, and neither law enforcement agencies nor any reputable, reputable, can I speak? News organizations have independently verified that any financial discussions occurred. Exactly. Thank you, Boston Bill. This is a Rally Roots hat from one of my reseller friends. This case should have been over a while ago. So sad. I agree, Bill. Welcome in. Now, in an interview, Brian Enton, and he is a reliable news source from News Nation, has told Parade that he has not encountered any proof to substantiate these theories, especially concerning Annie N. Sione. That's the truth. We can't throw the family under the bus. And that's why I was very careful. And of course, now there's messages coming up on the desktop that are not coming up on my phone. Basically, I said it Friday. All of this is alleged about the property taxes. Pima County didn't, they did tack on the 16% interest rate on the delinquent payment, but I said it could be in the mail. It's like when people mail their income taxes, even though the due date is April the 15th, as long as you're, in the old days when people used to send it by mail and you had to get the little green card, with the signature return and make sure and the post office never mails those back anyway. Remember when you had to do this? The registered or the certified mail, and you had to get the little card, but they'd put it on the back and the post office would never turn it over and take the card off and mail it back to you. I used to have to do that in the PI industry. It drove me nuts. Okay. Uh, as long as it's postmarked by April 15th, as far as your federal income taxes, it still counts. It could take 2 weeks to get to them. But as long as it's postmarked by that date, and you better walk into a post office and make sure they go and they stamp it, you're fine. It's the same thing with property taxes. As long as that check or that envelope is dated by the due date, you're fine. And for whatever reason, they have backed up the calendar to the 29th and said they have paid as of the 29th. But the website didn't say that on April 30th. The website didn't say that on May 1st. And like I said, they're closed all weekend. And so today, Monday morning, May 4th, I checked it. And as of today, it is updated that they are paid in full. Survival Empire says, April Davis, good day. Well, good day to you, wherever you're coming in from. We're not here to talk politics, so we gotta take this out. Don't know if that's true. Probably not. But you're timed out. Well, I'm trying to time you out. Hold on. There we go. YouTube is having issues. So, all these YouTubers, especially boots on the ground or any publications, they better be very careful about how they word stuff. Remember, in my channel, I say in every video, multiple times per video, everybody here is innocent until proven guilty. Now, do I believe that Ashley Manfield had that top law enforcement source that said he was a suspect at the beginning? Yes, I do believe that. The police never said that, publicly, but they're not going to come out the first week of the investigation and say, this is our suspects. But, when they take your car for almost 6 weeks and they're at your house for 5 straight days, and then the family that is supposedly the suspects come out and they've got the hoodies over their head and they're hiding their faces like cowards, which shows deception. It shows that they're trying to hide something. Doesn't mean that they're involved in the disappearance of their mother or mother-in-law, but they had very deceptive, like I'm ashamed type of body language. We're not talking about religion either. Geez, I guess I gotta post the rules. Is there a way to post the rules on the screen? No religion, no politics, nobody bashing someone else in the chat. Um, and we're not talking about food today. Yesterday I tried this twice by just doing a subscribers only chat, but hardly anybody came in, so it just didn't work. Oh, thank you, Kelly. She says, "Let's be nice." Are you still here, Boston Bill? Are you still here? I know people check in and then they check out sometimes just a few minutes later. So that's the latest today, per the Hindustan Times and per the Pima County Treasurer's Office, which I checked myself. Because remember that the same YouTuber that's quoted in the Hindustan Times had been reporting multiple times on his channel that Nancy was delinquent on her taxes, but she wasn't. There's two dates. There's the due date, and then there's the delinquency date. And the records online go back all the way to 2019, and I checked. I had to click every single year from 2019 through 2025 because this payment that was due this May 1st, 2026 is actually the second half payment for 2025. Like you pay it like a year behind. And so even though she's probably sadly no longer with us, somebody did pay her taxes. Now, who pay it? I don't know. Once again, no religion. Boy, we're going to have hardly anybody left here by the time I take everybody out. Hey, 25 people watching. Can you guys smash that thumbs up? And if you weren't here at the beginning, I am going to make these videos a lot shorter so that we can just get straight to the point. We can talk about Nancy and we don't have to go through all this other ridiculousness. And, you guys can ask questions in the chat, but we're going to talk just about the subject matter. And when it's done, it's done. And then I'll go off the air. And if something breaks, I can always come back on later, or I can come on tomorrow and we can talk about whatever new information is out there. And I have to put another user in a timeout. There you go. Oh, floating heart. And I didn't see it because I was busy taking somebody out. But thank you so much, Kellyanne. Really appreciate that. I'm sorry I didn't see it. Like I have to look at the top part of the chat, and I was looking at the bottom part, timing somebody out, and then my screen disappears for a second. Yes, they have paid their taxes. Redeemed underscore 1989. In fact, I have the paper right here. I dropped it. The system did update today. Let me cover their address, but yeah. No, I don't have OBS, but just take my word for it. The system backdated the payment to April 29th, and the payment was for $2,051.88. So their last payment, which was due, well, it would have been late November 1st, they paid it October 30th, 2051.89, and they paid the balance. Well, it's been backdated April 29th, but the system didn't show that payment until today, May 4th, because I was watching it on the 30th and the 1st. I didn't check it this weekend because, they're not open on Saturday and Sunday. And it has to be in by 5 p.m. at the end of business day, or it doesn't count for that day. But if they, let's say they mailed it and they went to the post office or the mailman came and picked it up out of their mailbox and it got, through a postage or a postal center somewhere and they put that stamp on that envelope, they would just backdate it per the date that it was mailed. So, and I said that, Thursday and Friday, the check could be in the mail, could be lost in the mail. The mail's been kind of screwed up the last several years, and we all know why that is. Hey, Mary. That is the same jewel that someone sent me a couple of shows ago, and it was somebody new, and it showed up almost 20 times. Hey, Andrew, you're timed out. Uh, oh, so hopefully they fix that issue. Uh, Mary Fish, where are you coming in from? I haven't seen you before. Have you been in here before, Mary? And welcome in. You're not subscribed? I hope you're subscribed. Everybody hit that like button. You know, my subscriber count for me for a small channel, let me just change my screens here. It's raising pretty quickly. Syracuse, you are new. Let's see. My subscriber count is now at 2744. Now, that's a very small YouTube channel, but for me, that's an amazing number because I started my channel. Oh, see, I got to take somebody out, and then I lose my screen. When I do that, when I hit put user and timeout, so if you guys send like a jewel right at that moment, I won't be able to see it. Uh, I started this at the end of December 2020 because I had survived stage 3, grade 3 breast cancer. Of course, I was still fighting it. I still fight it every day. Uh, but it was basically to document my life. That's why the channel's kind of all over the place as far as the categories and the playlist. However, oh, thank you for the red hearts. Whoever's doing that, that helps bring people in. It seems like the last year or so, the channel's kind of changed and it's geared more towards the news. And so I did a video about missing Nancy Guthrie on February the 2nd because I found out about it really late at night, Sunday, February the 1st. And except for my surgery day, which was February 6th, yeah, my second surgery of the year already, I've recorded at least 1 to 2 videos a day on this. But some of them have got a little long, and people, they want to get to know me and they start asking questions about things not related to the case. And then, sometimes a lot of people don't watch during the live, but they come in later. And then they're like, hey, you didn't, I watched this video and you didn't talk enough about Nancy, or so we're going to talk about Nancy. That's why I'm doing this series. If you want me to talk about something else, you can go look at some of my other videos. I welcome everybody that comes in. It's fine to ask questions, but we've got to stay on the train has got to stay on the track. And so I think I can do that by just, you know, saying to the topic, my best mod, she's not here anymore because she got in, or I don't know if it was her or somebody else, but they got into an argument in the chat and she got so upset about it that she wanted to be removed. So that was her choice, not mine. So I'm doing most of the modding now. I have 2 mods left, but they work and they're busy during the day, and so I'm doing most of the modding. And sometimes, especially if I go on late at night, I'm just too busy being a mod rather than telling you guys why I'm here. And so if you just came in, the reason I'm here today, and let me once again cover their address, not that you can read it from this far away, but Annie and Tommaso's property taxes are paid. And for all the people that are sending me messages on the video saying, hey, they were asking her for money and she denied it and she was getting ready to change her will, there's absolutely no proof of that. And I think a lot of people, they're hearing that rumor on other YouTube channels that may be doing this story for clicks. They've a lot of people that have the bigger channels, this is how they make their living. And so they may throw things out there that are rumored, that are not verified. The property tax thing with Nancy, they said that it was verified and it turned out not to be true at all. And I had copies of every single document. Like if I had OBS, I could go live and show you every single document, 2019, 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. It's pretty amazing that someone who's, 99.9% deceased, as far as I'm concerned, someone was still able to make that property tax payment for her. And her home is not in delinquency at all. And now I have not done a title search on her house, but I do know that she has a revocable living trust and she is her own trustee. And that's a good thing to do. Now, as far as her bank accounts, her checkbooks, savings accounts, checking accounts, maybe investment accounts, I have no idea how those are set up. Everybody's just assuming that maybe Savannah, her daughter, uh, maybe one of her people made the payment because, they can't really do anything with the house right now, not knowing what's happened to the mom. Is she still is she living? Is she being held somewhere? Has, she passed away during the commission of this crime? She didn't have her meds, remember? She may no longer be with us, but you can't make a death certificate for someone when you don't have a body and it's this early on in the case. I mean, it seems like forever for us and for the family, 93 days. But from a legal standpoint, in some cases, it's like 7 years before you can have somebody declared deceased. And it actually happens more often than you think, where someone is declared deceased and it turns out not to be. Or Social Security, they have glitches in their system and they declare up to 1,000 people deceased a year that didn't pass away, and it totally messes up their life, like big time messes up their life. But it's too early for anybody to go to court and say, "Hey, let's have her declared deceased," when there's no evidence of that. I mean, you know, from an intellectual standpoint, yeah. How could she survive all this time out there by herself, um, or even being held somewhere without her medication? If she was alive, they would have listed her, or they would have posted something like the people that were sending the ransoms, if they were legit, if they were even legit, those could have been red herrings. But if any of the notes were legit, they could have shown proof of life. And that didn't happen. Hi, Jane Rice. Didn't see you come in. My chat was behind. Joyce, I wouldn't want to live in that house. I wouldn't either if I were in her shoes, considering what's happened. I don't think if she were alive, I don't think she'd ever be able to return to her normal life again, but I think she's already gone. And I think, when the time is appropriate, the civil lawyers are going to have to get involved and go to court and, you know, at some point have her declared deceased and be able to move on because, that house is going to be expensive to keep up with. The property taxes, the landscaping, the pool has to be cleaned every week or so. That's a lot. And you know what? I'm looking for I had a big thing of water right here. Let me go grab my water. Sorry about that, people. Gotta be Couldn't sleep well last night and then slept in, so it's been, many hours since I hydrated. Yes, Mary, so sad and bizarre, this entire case, or whole case. Yeah. Um, Mary agrees with Joyce. Me either. No way. I wouldn't want to live in that house. Um, you know, Tucson is beginning to seem like a very small town. If you guys are new, go watch my long form content video where I talk about the Nancy Guthrie suspects. And we just go and no, it's not like a specific order of, oh, this is the number one suspect and this is number 10. It's like, no, I go in the order that their names came up from day one. Like Ashley Banfield first reported that a top law enforcement source was naming Tommaso Cioni as a suspect. She didn't say person of interest, she said suspect. And they did take the car, Annie's car, for over 5 weeks, the FBI. Or was that Pima County? I think it was Pima County. They took the car. They got it back almost 6 weeks later. The police and the FBI were in the house for at least 5 straight days, and then they left, and then they would come back. They would leave. They would come back. Nancy's crime scene was released too soon. Then it was, FBI would come out, put yellow tape around it, do something for a few hours, take the yellow tape down, leave. They kept coming back for more evidence, even after the scene had been compromised. Um, it seems like with all these suspects that they're all connected to the 6 degrees of separation. Even if you go to the guy in LA in Hawthorne that sent the text to Annie and Tommaso regarding, hey, where's my Bitcoin? So there was the original ransoms where they're asking for 4 million or 6 million in Bitcoin. Then there was the text ransoms. And then there's the third set of notes. And there was at least 5 or 6 of those that were sent by who were calling Bitcoin guy. And he was asking for one, then he was asking for half. And it's funny, he used some of the same language in his ransom notes, even though they have not been released. Parts of them have been stated publicly by Harvey Levin. And some of the wording in one of those notes was very similar to some social media posts or social media posts that were posted by um, one of the, I call them characters or actors in this soap opera, had very similar wording about timelines. I have called in 2 tips. I'm not investigating this case, but I've called in twice. The FBI doesn't seem to be interested unless you know where the body is. But still, if you're watching and you know something about Nancy Guthrie, where she is, or you know who might be involved, especially if you know who Front Porch Guy is, please do the right thing and dial 1-800-CALL-FBI. That's 1-800-CALL-FBI. And you may, get a large portion of a reward. I heard that Pima County closed their tip line, but I would still call them and ask for the detectives on the case. There's also uh, another tip line. I think it's Crime Stoppers. It's all on the internet. You can research it. But you know, please come forward. And if it's somebody that's like a wife or a girlfriend and they're scared, just get yourself out of that situation and go straight to a police station or a fire station and say, I need help. And they'll protect you. There's somebody out there, and I think there's more than somebody. I think there's more than just one somebody that knows about this. Now, hopefully, the at least the FBI, who seems to be leading the case now, because I've already given up on Pima County Sheriff. I've totally given up on that department as a whole. I have no faith in them whatsoever. Um, Hopefully, the FBI, they know a lot more than what Pima County is releasing. But the word out on the streets is that there are currently no viable suspects. Mary Fish says, yeah, they said they could do it anonymously. Yes, they can. And I think part of the reward, like Savannah's part, you could even get it in cash. But, there are elements that are attached to these awards or rewards. Like, you know, they have to be able to make an arrest or they have to recover their mother or, you know, they've all got different elements of, well, you have to do this or that in order for you to get the money. And maybe more than one person has called in the same tip and, the money will have to be shared. But that's a lot of money. I didn't call in my tip for money. I mean, I'm a disabled person that, breast cancer wiped out my life. I could use that money more than anybody, but I'm not investigating this case. Now, if Savannah is watching this and she wants to contact me, and I will be happy to consult with her and, look at this case through a new set of eyes, but I'm going to have a long list of questions to answer. And there's going to be certain documents that I'm going to want to see. Um, yeah. Anybody that knows anything, Mary, like she agrees. Yes, like call it in. You know, let's bring this woman home, even if the worst has happened. Let's bring her home. Let's know what happened to her. Let's know who took her. Let the prosecutors decide who's going to be charged. Let's have arrests made. Let's have search warrants served. Let's have a trial. Innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Not just that someone's going to be arrested and, hey, they did it. No, they're going to have, due process. Now, if anybody here has heard something new today that I haven't heard, please type it into the chat. But my main reason for coming on is, I wanted to clear Annie and Tommaso's name because the Pima County Treasurer, they did update their property tax database today, and they backdated their payment to April 29th. So even though, yeah, it was past the March 2nd due date, it's not delinquent until the 1st. And even though they were listed on May 1st, you could go online. I showed it here. They were listed as delinquent. They tacked 16% interest onto the payment. But I said, the payment could be sitting in that office. It might not have been processed yet. It could be in the mail. It could already be backdated. And, maybe they just wrote a check and put it in the mail, and it got there this morning. And then they went, oh, here's the payment. Maybe a lot of people pay at the last minute. And so, who knows? Maybe the person that updates it called in sick that day. Who knows? But it has been updated. They are paid in full, as is Nancy. And that's even more impressive because, she's not here to send the money. So somebody sent it for her. Somebody took care of it. Could it have been Savannah? Maybe. Oh, wow. Now I'm getting a message that I cannot see on my screen. Let me try this again. There we go. United Portland, how are you? I'm doing good. How are you doing? Hey, United Portland. Um, I hate to ask you this live, dude, but uh, thank you for the birthday card if it was from you. But somebody sold my name to a senior citizens group, which, by the way, I'm close, but I'm several years away from being a senior citizen. I may just look old because of everything that happened to me medically, but somebody sold my name or passed my name on and said that my name was April Davis Platt, Platt. I'm April Davis PI. Do you know, United Portland, who that might have been? Um, I suspect somebody from Oregon, and I have a name. I'm not going to put the name here, but it starts with the letter T. Did somebody either sell or pass my name on to a senior citizens group? Because those people, and they went all out. I got like probably 40 or 50 cards and letters, but from people thinking that I am a senior, people thinking that my identity is April Davis Platt, and people thinking that I belong to a group of people that are suffering from depression. And even with everything that's happened to me, I should be depressed, but I'm not, or I wouldn't be making these videos. So um, please, if you know who it is, you can send me a private email at aprildavispi@gmail.com. Um, If you know who it is, let me know because I just want to say, thank you, first of all, the fact that you guys care so much, whoever sent those letters. I don't know if they're even watching my channel, but I know that it came from right around the time that I got monetized and I had my April 12th birthday. All this mail started coming in before the birthday and even after the birthday um, with the name April Davis Platt. Now, one person had it as Pratt. I am April Davis. I've been April Davis my whole life. Uh, when I got my license, August 6, 1992, my legal designation became April Davis PI. It's just like somebody that goes to medical school and they graduate and they get their, thank you, Joyce. They get their, they take their state, boards for their medical license, and then they are, such and such MD. Well, it's the same thing in the PI business. You can't put the PI designation behind your name or even call yourself a PI until you have earned that, and that takes years. I mean, I could have gone to medical school in the time that it took me to get that, and then I waited another 3 years to start my business and became April Davis Investigations. But I have never been April Davis Platt, April Davis Pratt. I've never been married. I don't have any other names than April Davis. I am not 65 years or older, and I am not a member of some group of people that suffer from depression. Little medical anxiety with everything I've been through, but no depression. And it was almost humorous, but People started calling me out in chat like, "How you doing, Miss, Platt?" Even at the mailbox, they're saying that now, and I want that to stop. So, whoever did it, please straighten it out. Uh, yes, we had several people emailing us, asking us to send stuff to you. Well, that's very sweet, and I loved it. I saved them too. I have every single thing that was sent to me, and I probably will have it until the moment I take my last breath. Because it was your birthday, and I mean, we had a lot of requests, and the manager thought it was spam. What manager? But uh, I'm not a senior yet, because in the United States, a senior is 65, so I'm not there yet. I hope I make it there, but with, my medical situation, who knows? Every birthday could be my last. So that really brought me up, especially because I get so not depressed, but I get sad around my birthday because my bestie, or not my bestie, but let's say my second bestie passed away in October 2022, and her birthday was at the end of March. Mine's in the middle of April. We always celebrated together since the day we met. In fact, we actually met for the first time the day after my birthday in 2022, or no, that's when she passed. So it was we met 2020 and she passed 2022. We only knew each other. Yeah, I only knew her as a living person for 2.5 years, and the birthdays are kind of hard because her birthday, then my birthday were 2 weeks apart in birthdays, and we always celebrated together. And she became a friend while I was recovering from my cancer. So whoever sent, I thank you from the bottom of my heart, but um, I just don't know why all these people are calling me April Davis Platt. So, but I do appreciate the cards. I mean, I'd rather get the cards even if they have the wrong name on them than not to get them at all. Because I mean, nobody's ever done that for me. My best friend didn't send me a card. People don't send cards anymore. People don't spend the money on stuff like that. So, it meant the world to me. People don't even send Christmas cards anymore. I did a Christmas card exchange last year, and except for the YouTubers that already wrote me like every year, not one person sent. And I'm like, well, gosh, people don't even send Christmas cards anymore. Um, Someone called by the name of Sandy. Well, can you contact Sandy, whoever she is, and let her know that I'm not a senior and that I'm not April Davis Platt, and I'm definitely not suffering from depression. And if I had been, those cards would have really lifted me up. I mean, they still lifted me up anyway, and I'm like, wow, YouTube is amazing. But the first person that sent from a P.O. box in Portland, and it was a man. Didn't put his last name, put his first name. It started with the letter T, and his card was the exact same card that several people from this group sent, and they all had like stickers and like little notes inside, and it was wonderful. And then someone from Rancho Palos Verdes, California, sent a big envelope, and it had like another 10 or 20 cards that looked like they'd been written by young children. It was amazing. But how did this start that I am April Davis Platt and that I am a depressed senior citizen? So I'm not Platt, I'm not depressed, and I'm not a senior yet. uh, so it was kind of funny at first, but if you can get that information out there. The beat goes on. Hello, where are you coming in from? Peggy. How you doing, Peggy? Yeah, that is sad that no more cards. I have hung on pretty much every card I've ever gotten. Yeah, I have all of them. I mean, I have so many, and then people started sending me gifts on the Amazon wish list too. That the former mod Trisha, who had helped me so much, she was like, "Yeah, I think you need to start this," and I'm like, "Yeah." A couple other people have mentioned this, and I've got like probably about 10 gifts already just through that, and I haven't even had it up a month. So yeah, if your name starts with the letter T, let me know. I don't know who your manager is. My manager here said it was a scam. Yeah. Nobody asked for money. Oh, we had lots of emails. Someone posted online that I passed away. No, I want to know who's doing this. And I'm not going to say the name here, but the first card that came in was from Portland, and it was from a mail. I still have the envelope with the P.O. box. And remember, I am a PI, so I can track that person down and have everything, including their social security number and the last time they paid their taxes. I can have it all. I'm not going to, waste my time on something like that. But if you know the male who's in Portland, whose first name starts with the letter T, you please if that's you or you know who that is, let that person know that I'm not a senior. I'm not April Davis Platt. I'm April Davis PI. But thank you to all of those people that sent me the mail, because I don't think most of those people even know I have a YouTube channel. I wish they did. I mean, my views would just skyrocket, which is what I need right now. So if you want to let those people know, they are welcome to come into my channel and subscribe and, watch my videos and, send anything they want through the channel. That's terrific. Uh, the beat goes on, says Sacramento, California here, and I am sad because I just had to put my emotional support animal, Snowy Toes, in my picture down. Oh, I wish I could, the picture, the little avatar comes across so small. I'm so sorry to hear that. I wish I could see like a bigger picture to see. Is it a kitty or a doggy? I can't see. I'm sorry. Um, all we know is her name was Sandy. We don't know who she is. My manager said it was a scam, so she must have started it. Yeah, but who is Sandy? Like, did she send you an email? If she sent you an email, send her back. And who's your manager? And I'm getting so many viewers now, which is great, that are coming in from Portland, but the usernames keep changing. Uh, and it'll say that they've only been, on YouTube for a couple of days. And then, the name, I've got at least 4 or 5 people that are associated under the same PO box. Someone posted online, I passed away. We knew that wasn't true. Well, whoever this person is, feel free to reach out to them and say that I'm April Davis PI. I'm not flat. I'm definitely not depressed. I'm not a senior yet, although I do have a lot of seniors. There's a huge group of people that are 65 years and older that are watching this YouTube channel. And all those people that may be seniors or ascending to seniors, they're welcome to come in and they can become channel members. They can become subscribers. They don't need to send, funds. They can just watch for free and enjoy the videos. Do you remember weeks ago we were on, there was a lady that said that you were a scam. You remember her? I don't remember who that was. You have to realize now that I'm monetized, there's all kinds of weirdos that come in. I've been accused of being a man. You know, uh, it, people are making fun of my teeth that are fine. Uh, but I'm a detective, so I was bullied my whole childhood because I had brighter red hair before chemo. It doesn't bother me at all. If somebody wants to attack me, that's fine. But no politics, no religion. Don't argue with each other in the chat because it causes issues. No cursing, although I have slipped a few F bombs and I apologize for that. I have to remember, like, oh, I'm on YouTube and everybody's watching. um, but I get all kinds of crazy things. I'm a granny, I'm a man. Um, I've been accused of being gay. I'm not, but I am very supportive of the LGBTQ plus community. I mean, I'm extremely supportive. And if there's somebody watching right now that's, non-inclusive to everybody, then they don't need to watch my channel. Um, and no, I haven't changed my gender. The thought has never crossed my mind. Uh, if I tap, it'll be bigger. Let's see. No, not on my end. It's a kitty cat and he's in front of my drum. He's towards the top of the picture. Yeah, I can see an animal towards the top of the picture. Yeah, it just brings me to the next screen that wants me to, do I block or time out the user, which no, I'm not going to do that. I have been a senior since I was 45 due to disability. I'm on disability myself. I've had stage 3 breast cancer. I've got a horrific back problem, but I've never claimed that. Um, I've never been on any type of psychiatric disability ever because I don't have any psychiatric issues. But they're like, oh, maybe if somebody in Alabama was like, maybe you should throw that in. And I'm like, well, why would I? Because, there's nothing wrong with me there. Um, and then the treatment caused a heart ailment. And so my heart right now, while I'm talking to you, my heart it's not beating 100% correctly. Um, is there a theme to this chat? Actually, we've talked all about Nancy Guthrie, but this guy from Portland came in. At least I assume you're a guy. Um, United Portland Festival. Are you the person whose name starts with the letter T? And you don't need to put your name in the chat. Live in Memphis, Tennessee. See, that's another one that's connected to United Portland and the good JLR, all those usernames. They all seem to be coming from the same group. Sandy told people to send cards. Well, whoever Sandy is, and thank you, Sandy, because that really lifted me up. But just because it was my birthday. And, since I met my second bestie and she passed away, birthdays get a little sad sometimes. But even with all the horrible stuff that's happened, and, oh my God, there's not enough time in my day to tell you everything bad or negative that's ever happened in my life. I still, you know, look at the glass as half full and not half empty. Uh, thank you, Joyce. She says, you are beautiful. So I don't mind the cards. It'd be nice to get some Christmas cards this Christmas. I don't know if I'm going to advertise an exchange like I did last year. Nobody responded except for the people I was already writing to in years past. We had a lot of people contacting us down here in Tennessee, telling us to send cards to you, and then I was going to check this out. Okay. Actually, no, it doesn't work getting bigger. I wish I could send you his picture. You can send it to my email, aprildavispi at gmail. Maybe I will see if I can send you a message if you're interested because she's a cutie pie. Oh, yeah, sure. Send me an email, aprildavispi at gmail.com. And then somebody got a hold of another business email that's unrelated to my channel and started sending me stuff on that. And I was like, listen, this is not my email for my channel. And if I get any more of these, I started getting spams, like you will be blocked. Whoever you are, I don't care, even if you've donated a super chat. Like if you start spamming the business channel or any private emails, they'll be blocked. Because I need that email for other purposes. That's why, as long as you're not spamming me and it's relating to, the cases that we're talking about, feel free to send an email. And yeah, if you want to send a picture of the cat, that's fine too. Some lady by the name of Sandy who lives in the state of Washington started all this, and we said we weren't going to do it because we didn't know who you were. Well, I don't know a Sandy in Washington. Now, I know a Sandra who's in Tucson now because of this YouTube channel and because of this Nancy Guthrie story. And she actually lives in Miss Nancy's neighborhood, but that's not the same Sandy. And she's actually sent quite a few gifts through the YouTube wish list. But she doesn't go by Sandy. She's a Sandra in Tucson. Purple is my color. Nice. I never really thought about that, but thank you. I'm more of a kind of a pink type of, person as far as colors, but I haven't bought new clothes in years with everything that's happened. So all these shirts are kind of old and disgusting. But thank you. Thank you, Lori. She said you were a YouTuber and your birthday was coming up and on and was crazy. Listen to the state of Washington. Okay. Well, Sandy in the state of Washington, thank you for watching. I've never had any comments from her as far as I know. But I am not April Davis Platt. I'm not a senior. And I am not depressed. But I did enjoy the cards. It was wonderful that total strangers, people I don't even know, sent me all this. But I was waiting for some of these usernames that are connected to Portland and to Tennessee to come in and say, hey, are you, you know who, with the P.O. box in Portland, whose first name starts with the letter T, who is male. And I appreciate that, but it was like, what? When I first went to the box and the box was full, I was like, is this a joke? Like, how did I get all these cards? Like, I mean, I know I'm building my YouTube channel, but I'm not that big, that I would get that much mail. Because there are YouTubers that have 100,000 subscribers and they don't get mail like I got for my birthday. Like that was amazing. I'm like, why is this happening? And then when I looked at the envelope, it was like April Davis Platt. And then the people in the mailbox, they thought it was humorous too. And because it had April Davis on it and it had number 195, they just, they put it in my box. But and I have never been annoyed by it. But whoever started this needs to fix this because I am not April Davis Platt. And on the YouTube channel, when I have in the description of the videos and on the channel description where I have the mailing address, it doesn't even say April Davis PI. It says April, Amelia, and Kelsa. Amelia Kinsley is the bunny, and Kelsa is Kelsa Kitty. So it just says, you want to send mail? April, Amelia, and Kelsa. It doesn't even say April Davis PI, but that's the name of my channel. So if somebody sends mail on April Davis PI, like, yeah, that's who I am. They could write April Davis PI, April Davis Investigations. They could write April, Amelia, and Kelsa. Heck, sometimes I still get Christmas cards that say April and Alfie. He was my mixed Maine Coon that I had for 14 years who helped get me through cancer. And, I'm not going to go, oh, well, the cat is deceased now. I'm going to throw it away. Like, no, I'm going to accept it with a tear in my eye, that Alfie's not here anymore because he loved to go through the mail with me. The current cat and rabbit, they don't care about the mail. They like boxes when I get deliveries in boxes because they like to play in them. She said you were a YouTuber and your birthday was coming up. Okay. Yeah, it was April the 12th. Then you should get senior benefits even if you're not 65 yet. I have disability benefits. Same here, heart issues, breathing issues, brain issues, blah, blah, blah. Aren't we a joy? Yeah, we'd make a great date, wouldn't we? Oh, Sandy in Washington started all this and someone posted, I passed away. So funny. That's a new one for me. Nope, still here. Well, maybe maybe I'll stop getting mail for April Davis Platt. Oh, maybe somebody can send donations for my final expenses. Uh, I know the beat goes on says I have 0 people to send me cards or send cards to. I'm debating if I should do the Christmas thing this year because, when I announced it last year, the only YouTubers that, sent were YouTubers that I was already sending mail back and forth to for years. Because I've had this channel for over 5 years. Sandy is the one that started all of them. Somebody posted online. Okay, I saw that again. Okay, I'll do that. I'll send it to you. Oh, you mean the picture of the cat? Okay, thank you. Shane Rice says, oh boy. Uh, Jason Bender, hello. Yes, indeed, it's the wrong channel. Wisconsin, have a good evening. God bless your websites. Live in Memphis. Sandy is the one that told everybody to send cards to you. Okay, Sandy, thank you. I love them. I've saved them. I'll probably save them the rest of my life because they mean so much to me. But just straighten out that I'm not a senior yet. I'm many years away from that. And I am not April Davis Platt. I am not depressed. And I'm definitely, as of right this second, knock on wood, I am not dead. Oh, I should make a short about that and announcing like, hey, I heard today that on YouTube that I was dead. That kind of means you're relevant when all these crazy stories. It's like if you're a celebrity and you get in the Star magazine or National Enquirer or the Globe, and people go, this is not true. This is BS. But you know what? It means that you're relevant. And if it gets, I don't know how people can click though and watch the videos if I'm DEAD. Do not accuse the person that you think it is. I don't know who. That's why I asked. I said, who is T in Portland? Because he was the first person to send the card. Now, maybe he heard this from this Sandy. Oh, I don't know who Sandy could be a man or Sandy a woman. But the first person that sent the card, that card was the same card that a lot of other people sent. And the one that came in first said April Davis or April Davis PI. And it was in a green envelope. And I started getting other cards that were in green envelopes that were the exact same card. So I'm like, well, how can I trace this back? So, not accusing anybody. I'm just asking politely. Try to straighten it out. Now, if they want to continue to send me stuff, I'll be happy to take it. Because it's better to get mail than to get no mail at all. And I've been doing YouTube for 5 years and 4 months. And other than the YouTubers that I, connected with for years, I don't get channel mail. But now I'm getting packages. I'm getting stuff sent from Amazon, which is great. It's been a great help to me. So no, not accusing anybody. The beat goes on. Yes, the kitty picture, not the one in my profile, but when I hear back from you, I will send that one. The beat goes on says, that is so funny. The beat goes on says, this is the first time I've seen you, but you appear alive to me. As of 3:17 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, April Davis PI is alive and kicking. And if you're all upset about the cards, that's crazy. No, I'm not upset about the cards. I love the cards. That's why I've saved them. They mean so. I've even showed them. If you've been watching the videos, I've been showing them. But it was really funny at first, like, oh, well, how did this get started? This is so funny. And this is wow, this is great. I was picking up packages and cards. Like, somebody said it was a Glenn Campbell song. Like, I'm getting cards and letters from people I don't even know. But that I'm on some sort of a list that I'm suffering from depression and that I'm some old lady sitting here depressed and almost dead. Like, that's not true at all. Um, yeah, I would love to get cards. Send me cards. I live down here in Memphis. I don't care what name you put on it. Send them to me. Yeah. Like I said, I'd rather get cards with the wrong name, and at least they're putting them in my box. But, you know, I just want to know who's behind this and who started the rumor that I'm, a depressed old person that, needs to be uplifted. But it was uplifting. Even though I'm not depressed, it was great. Like, my Thai family came over for my birthday and they got a Porto's cheesecake, and we ordered Reno's Pizzeria, and we had a great time. It was a great birthday. It was one of the best birthdays I've had in years. Um, Hi, Pink Lady. Uh, oh, the beat goes on. Same here. Post my post box address if you email it to me. Uh, yeah, send me cards. I love it. I don't care what name, as long as I get it. I'm doing good, Peggy. I do remember you, Pink Lady. The beat goes on says, I'm depressed. I could use some cards. I've received a lot of spam emails, but the birthday cards, they came through the mail to the postal service. I've got my mojo. Woohoo! I just don't know anybody in my channel named Sandy. I do know a Sandra now from Tucson who is in Nancy Guthrie's neighborhood, the Catalina Foothills, but her name is Sandra. Well, Sandra or Sandra. Never met her face to face. But yeah, I mean, I've never in my entire life, and I'm old as dirt. I'm not a senior yet, but I am old as dirt. And I've never received that many cards in all my life. And it was wonderful. I thought, wow, I wish those people would, put me on their Christmas list. Because last year I bought a lot of cards and postage, and I was expecting, to be able to send a lot out. And I think I might have sent like 15 or 20. Well, it's not my physical, it's my mailing address. It's not where I actually live. Remember, I'm a PI. Nobody knows where I live. And I'm not always the one that gets the mail either. What? You have been through stuff most people could never survive. Depressed? Nope, not depressed. How about happy you are here with all of us? Yep. Maybe you have another birthday in May. No. My bestie's was in May. We just celebrated hers. But no, my birthday month is over. Oh, that's very sad. The beat goes on. I'm sorry. Don't know if that was true, April, or me, Arizona, but I'm depressed because I had to put down my kitty cat. He was my emotional support animal. That's awful. You know, Alfie was my support, uh, through my cancer and the love of my life and the best cat I've ever had. And, after my cancer, at a certain point, he had to be put down at 14, and it was very, very hard. And he still gets mail sometimes. Christmas stuff will come into the business box that will say April and Alfie. Um, so yeah, and I don't have a PO box. I have a private mailbox, also known as a commercial mail receiving agent. It's like one of those little local mailbox stores because PO boxes, they can't receive packages. Your birthday was last month, mine too. So I think it's comical, but I was shocked because I was like, wow, look at all these cards. Like, this is amazing. And if you guys watch the videos regularly, you'll see that I held up the cards. And you'll also see that whenever somebody gives me, like, somebody sends something to the box through the YouTube wish list that Trisha, the former mod, wanted me to create or suggested that I create, and I didn't expect to receive one thing. I've already got like 10 things. And I go through them. And I've also said that I need to do a new long form content video and do a mail call. And then during that mail call video, we'll go over the cards again because, not everybody watches the live. Some people just watch the long form. We'll go over the most recent baseball mail, still only received from 8 teams, but that's amazing. And, we'll go over the Amazon stuff that came in through the channel. We'll just go through it all. And I like making the occasional mail call video. Uh, the beat goes on says, I'm right on the cusp of Aries and Taurus. You know what? It's not easy though, and I never asked for it. 5 years and 4 months, and I've got about 5 grand into this channel. And except for two small checks that I had got back late 2024 and early 2025 that were really small, like about $100. Um, I got demonetized and it took over a year to get remonetized, and I won't see my first check since remonetization until the end of May. At the earliest, May 21st, at the latest, May 26th. Hopefully, it'll come in digitally into my account on the 21st of May, which is another 17 days away. Yeah, so I might have my first check, but I just want to, now that I'm remonetized, I want to use the funds to pay myself back for the last 5 years and 4 months because as a disabled person, I really don't have any extra money to spend every month. And so I plan on using every single penny, even if it was a private donation, every single penny is just to pay it all back. Um, oh, YouTube is very expensive. Equipment, uh, editing software. Uh, I have to have a license to play the music. People don't realize that. And I'm not counting the mailbox as an expense because that's an expense for my PI business. But yeah, you got to have licensing for the music. Decent editing programs are not free. Uh, GoPros are not free. Tripods, lighting, batteries, um, camera bags, extension cords, Wi-Fi mics, uh, interactions with other channels to bring in, more people to my channel. That's all an expense. It's like a business. It is a business. And it's a business that I'm minus on. But this year, I will be able to uh, hopefully pay myself back. Not all of 5 years in 1 year, but that's what I'm going to use it for. Just going to put it back into the account. Live in Memphis, Tennessee. She showed a never. You know what? Live in Memphis, we're going to have to take you out. Nobody's accusing anybody of anything. I've said it multiple times. That's exactly what I need to as a disabled person. Yeah. If it's your passion, don't do it for the money. 5 years and 4 months, and now I've still, my first regular check is going to come. So, uh, and it's not going to be a lot, but it's going to be more than I thought. I think I have a rule following problem and might not do well. Only do it if you want to do it. Don't do it for the money. Exactly, Arizona Desert Walker. So agree, but also respect the freedom of speech of all these people coming together to do what they can do to find Nancy. That's what this is about. This is about Nancy Guthrie. Thank you. She was going on too long about that. I'm glad you're intercepting. Well, I kept being challenged by Live Memphis, Tennessee. There we go. Uh, so yeah, we're gonna make the videos shorter now. We're just gonna stick to the point. Uh, if somebody wants to send something, I don't care if you call me Mickey Mouse. You can send it, address it to Yellow Teeth for all I care. You know, if somebody wants to send a donation, it's not a problem. And thank you to all those that have sent the super chats and the gifts and the birthday presents, the cards, the letters. Um, but I haven't changed my identity. Um, I haven't changed my name. Uh, I've had that business mailing address for years. The channel has only ever had one email, aprildavispi@gmail.com. Any other emails that I may have do not pertain to the channel, and I will not accept emails there regarding the channel. I'm not mad about the cards. I actually love the cards. That's why I've saved them. Uh, April, is your wish list I ordered of needs prioritizing first needs first? What is the question? April, is your wish list? You mean the YouTube wish list? I order of needs prioritizing first needs first. It's in no particular order. It's just as I add items or items come down, it's not in any particular order, Arizona Desert Walker. Uh, oh, you mean Amazon? Yeah, it's not in any particular order. I started off with about 10 items, and then somebody bought some items, and then they moved to the bottom of the list. One lady had bought the socks, but she ended up almost accidentally sending them to herself. And then she was like, you know what, I'm just going to cancel that order, and I'm going to just send them directly through her account without going through the list. And that caused all kinds of confusion. And someone else decided they were going to buy the socks, but then I guess they heard that someone else was sending them privately, and then they canceled their order. And I'm like, okay, well, the socks are coming down, because that's, one person, clicking one button wrong caused all kinds of confusion. And the only item that was the top wanted item, and that was the microphone, somebody already bought that. And I was shocked. And that's how that made it to the top, because they tell you to click one item or however many items you want, or as your most wished for item. And I've been trying to buy this microphone. I can't use it during the vertical lives, but I can use it when I record from my desktop. I wanted that for over 5 years, and on a limited disability income that doesn't cover all my main bills, that wasn't something that I was going to buy. So I was like, yeah, that would be a great thing, because that's for my channel. Just like the tripod I'm using right now is also a selfie stick. Somebody sent me that. It's like, oh wow. Put all likes on your list, not just YouTube channel related. I do have the diet ginger beer on there, and I've already received 2 4-packs of that, but I'm down to 1, and I love it. So, yeah, that's on there. Even, the lady Sandra in, or not Phoenix, Tucson, in Nancy's neighborhood, she sent me the lipstick, she sent me some certs, she sent me a cat toy for Kelsa, she sent me some sneakers because people were like, "Hey, what's your favorite shoe?" And I'm like, "Well, Puma," but I don't somebody sent me the Puma socks, and they're like, "Oh, you should put the Puma shoes on there." So I did, and somebody sent them to me. I was just like, "Oh my god." So, never can have too much on that. Yeah, what, the diet ginger beer from Australia? That's the diet, it's not alcohol, it's ginger ale, but yeah, that's terrific. And then you know what? Some guy, also sent the guy that sent the microphone and the selfie stick sent me 3 DoorDash gift cards, and I thought it was 1, and when I got the package, it was 3. And recently, someone else apparently has sent one, but I haven't been in the mailbox since, like, Friday. Sandy started this, she is true crime. Oh, is that our channel name? '70s Pumas are the best. I don't think I have any 1970s Pumas. Oh, well, please contact her and tell her I said thank you. Yeah, see, you're going under so many different usernames. Why is, the new JLR Investigates, connected to all these other names like, the Oregon Pride, and who's in Memphis, Northwest Breaking News? Yes, tell her I said thank you, but make sure she changes my name. Well, she doesn't have to. If somebody wants to send me 100 Christmas cards under April Davis Platt, I'll still accept them. And I'll hang them on my wall because I started doing that this year because during November and December, I was in the hospital a lot because I needed another heart surgery. And it was supposed to be on New Year's Eve, and my doctor got COVID, and they delayed it until January the 2nd, which was really scary because he was still sick. And I've never had COVID, and I had to get that surgery done because my my left kidney was hanging by a thread to have a kidney surgery, and that was February the 6th, and there had to be a certain amount of time after the heart surgery that I had to be on the blood thinners, and then there had to be a required amount of time to be off the blood thinners to have so it was just like it was so stressful, and I felt like I totally missed Christmas and Thanksgiving this year, and so I hung up all my cards on my, living room wall, and, just around the time of my birthday, and then all these birthday cards started coming in, I was like, it is mid-April and baseball season has started. Maybe it's time to take down the, Christmas cards." But the wall is now bare, and it's all set up for next Christmas. Someone called us and said I passed away. It was a man? Nope. Now, there are a lot of people with the name April Davis, but nope. Unless I passed away and this is just my ghost coming on here. Oh, I've heard it all, Northwest Breaking News, but thank you for the laughs. Don McWhorter, it was just been reported that I died. I'm internet dead, apparently. Ah, okay. Arizona Desert Walker. Let's get back to the topic, and I got to get off the air here. Never delved in his channel history, though, except for research. I do all the streams to place in chronological order their timestamps of critical moments. Uh, yeah. Don McWhorter says, "Oh my, LOL." Yeah, we were just making a speech. You can rewatch it about there was somebody that came in that I suspect is connected, and they got very upset when I started talking about that I'm not a senior, I'm not depressed, and I'm not April Davis Platt. But from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate all the cards that came for my birthday. It really meant so much to me. But and then they kept coming back in under other channel names. So, yeah, no spam to my emails, please, because that'll get you blocked. Uh, I'm trying to keep this alive. I'm doing this for Nancy, and I've never even met Miss Nancy. And I feel like I know this woman now, and I've never met her. I feel like I know a lot more about Savannah Guthrie than I ever knew about. I mean, I know who her kids are, who she's been married to, um, where she went to school. I've met a neighbor whose husband or former husband used to work with her at the very first news station in Tucson, and, heard about stories that go all the way back to Savannah being in high school. Like, it's been amazing all that I've learned, and it's been amazing that I've met all of you, which I appreciate every single one of you, even those who think I am April Davis Platt. I appreciate and love all of you. But it's kind of hard to deal with that. I've met all you guys, not because of all the other videos that I've produced over the years, but because of this tragedy involving Nancy Guthrie. I'm going to start at the beginning since you were heading off. Okay. Thank you so much, Arizona Desert Walker. Don says I'll watch the replay. Yeah, that really helps. Um, and I agree. Even some of the clickbaity YouTubers, I don't mind that they're out there doing what they're doing because they're helping to keep this alive, especially the boots on the ground because I'm unable to travel that far, and I stay very close to home now. I still drive. People have asked me that, "Do you drive?" Yeah, I still drive, but just on a very limited, basis. Um, I still I'm here to take care of my animals, and, um, with all the medical stuff, I just I wouldn't be able to make it there, and, I certainly wouldn't be wanna be accused of a PI crossing state lines to investigate something. I'm not investigating this. I'm simply reporting this. And I hope that this is solved soon, and then we can just move on to the next case. Northwest Breaking News says you're in Spokane. Yeah, let me know, like, if anybody knows this Sandy, who I do not know, who's in Washington. Please give her a big thank you. Give her a hug for me, and let her know that I'm not April Davis Platt. And however she got this information out, maybe she can send a group email to all these people and say, "Hey, this person is not depressed. She's a YouTuber." Um, Northwest, I see it. You know what? I see him. Oh, here it is over here. Nope, I don't see this on my screen. I'm getting more messages on my desktop than I'm getting on my screen. So let me go to the screen. Um, where is it? It just passed me. Hold on. Sandy started this. She is true crime. I know Sandy. She is in Seattle. Sandy started this. She knows JLR investigates. She is true crime. Oh, okay. Um, could be a tactic of his. Oh, someone called us and said that you passed away. It was a man. I don't think JLR knows who I am or would even care who I am. Um, but I'm still watching him occasionally. In fact, I did. Was it Thursday or Friday night when he had that panel on? Sandy's a good person. We have interviewed her many times. True crime YouTuber. Oh, okay. She's a YouTuber. Well, thank you, Sandy. Whoever you are, thank you. I'd love to be able to send her an email and thank her if it was her. um, well, thanks for letting me know. If if anybody has her email, send it to me. I'll be happy to send her an email myself and thank her. But I'd sure love to know how the April Davis Platt started and who put on the list that I am a depressed person. I guess you can think anything you want about me if you want to send me a birthday card. It could be my birthday every month if you want it to be. Did you see them all do push-ups? No. You mean the boots on the ground in front of Nancy's? Who did you see them, did I see them all do the push-ups? No. I do watch some of these YouTubers later in the day or at night when I'm in bed. I would love to be able to go to Tucson and meet the entire group of people that are out there. And, I'd love to meet Brian Itten. He would be the top guy on my list I would love to meet. Okay, I'm not seeing any more messages. I'm gonna close this out. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Make sure you see the beginning of this when I talk about the tax situation has been, updated. Ted, JLR, and Exploring with Jim did the push-ups. No, I didn't see that. April Davis PI was wrongly recognized as April Davis. It was actually Platt, Platt. And one person called me Pratt, Pratt. But I'm April Davis PI. But like I said, I'm not, if somebody, especially like a total stranger, like it's like when and I've told people this many times, when I had stage 3 cancer and I didn't think I was going to make it, even though I had, support from friends and family, the kindness from strangers got me more emotional and put tears in my eyes than the kindness from people that I knew my entire life. And it's not that I didn't appreciate the kindness of friends and family, but when total strangers are like, "Hey, I can give you a ride," or "We're going to start a group of people that can help take you to your chemos." And to some of these people I didn't even know. And was like, wow, like, um, people, we've got you on our prayer chain. Like, and I'm like, how did these people even know who I am? But I think it's the power of the internet that brings us all together and lifts us up. But, you know, excuse me, that meant more to me than anything, that I was getting compassion and prayers from total strangers. So you can imagine how it like just made my heart happy, especially because my birthday is a little bit of a sad time, with my friend having her birthday 2 weeks before and she passed, and we always celebrated her birthday and we celebrated my birthday. We celebrated every New Year's Eve. And then, every year at that time I get a little like, misty-eyed. Um, so to have all these cards and letters coming from people all over the country that don't even know me was like one of the most amazing things that has ever happened in my life. Um, yeah. Watch the beginning, Jay, and you'll see the update on let me cover their address, the Tommaso and Annie tax situation. It's all been covered. But hey, I'm gonna go. In fact, I may check that box later today if I have time. Other things I got to take care of first, but uh, thank you so much. I appreciate every single one of you. And if you're not watching the long form content, please do so. I try to respond to each and every one of you in the comments. If some of your comments get lost or they don't give me the notifications, I try to go through as many of the comments as I can every single evening. So thank you again, and thank you for the cards, everybody.